You're joining Sports Radio STL. I'm Gary B. And tonight you're really going to enjoy the program because what we're going to put together, if you're into sports, if you're into motorcycles, you're definitely going to love tonight's show and the different guests that we're going to be having. Also, you have an opportunity to win a motorcycle. We're at Smoogy's Restaurant. It's a restaurant and bar on Telegraph Road, about 3 miles south of Interstate 255 on Telegraph Road. And a great place here for great food, great time, and naturally great people that are around. We're going to talk about, as I mentioned, Sozo Motorsports. And you're going to say, what is that all about? Well, if you want to follow along, go to my website, sportsradiostl.com, and you'll be able to get an opportunity to register to win a motorcycle. And we're going to talk a lot about this motorcycle during the show here. Have several guests. We're going to have Mike Rohrbacher. He's going to be our first guest. Ken Bromeyer is going to be our second guest, talking about this Sozo Motorsports and how you can actually get this bike at no cost. We're going to give it away December the 31st. Actually, they're giving it away. I'm not giving it away. But as mentioned, we're at Smoogy's. Brian is going to be joining us here shortly. Brian Smugala. He is going to be telling you a little bit about this location. Just changed its name. So my broadcast partner, Randy Gardner, is on assignment here this evening. So I have to ramrod along with my cameraman, Scott Spellbrink, spelled with one L. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Michael Rohrbacher.
Thanks, Gary. How are you today?
I am having a great time. You brought your fan club with you. I saw the bus out in the front.
Well, I've got an entourage. They follow me everywhere. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but it's worth it.
You're exactly right. We want to thank our sponsors naturally here at SozoSTL.com is one of our sponsors. Another sponsor is ZingSTL.com. You may be saying, what are those products? Well, we're going to talk a lot about both companies throughout the show, and naturally you can go to our website, sportsradiostl.com, and be able to get a lot more information on that. But we started the show off talking, Mike, a little bit about Sozo Motorsports. Now, individuals out there are saying, well, I've never heard of that. So why don't you kind of start us from the beginning where Sozo Motorsports started?
Great, thanks, Gary. About a year ago, Sozo Motorsports was formed by a group of Sozo distributors who found an excellent opportunity to go and become part with the AMA to be the official beverage of that organization and get to meet people and share the Sozo opportunity and help support a great sport. I don't know if you're fans of motorcycle racing, but it is so much fun. Every time I go out there, I see those guys zipping by, and I just can't believe the talent that they have. And so we've been going out to all the races all season, meeting people, showing them Sozo, letting them try it, talking about the opportunity and the great health benefits of Sozo. It's just been a wonderful time.
And you see in the background, you see the official layout of the Sozo Motorsports and the word Sozo, and a lot of individuals are saying, what is the Sozo? Well, it's a product that you should not be living without. And as I mentioned, Ken Bromeyer is going to tell us a little bit more about that. But first of all, as we mentioned, Mike, we talked about the motorcycle and where you guys are really broadcasting all year this past year, as well as riding at the AMA event. And there's one gentleman I'd like to talk about who kind of basically sits in my shoes, so to speak, who is the official announcer of the AMA Pro Motorcycle Racing. And why don't you talk a little bit about this gentleman?
Oh, Barry Boone is fantastic. He is, I'm here from St. Louis, so he's like Jack Buck as far as I'm concerned for motorcycle racing. The man is just a fantastic announcer. He really engages the audience well. He's got a personality that's like 10 times the size of him. Just amazing. He's got a great radio show. He's just a dedicated fan of racing. He loves to help the racers, and he just loves the sports. And that's the important part. Is someone with his kind of talent who just loves the sport he does is amazing. It just makes going to the event so much better.
And that's part of it, Mike. Again, you had mentioned you started in Daytona Beach. Probably, what was it, about March of this year? Or
correct.
The first quarter of this year. We started over at the track in Daytona Beach. Take us from there. You left there, and how many cities did you go to? And what do you do when you go to each city?
Well, honestly, I lost count of how many places we went because we went all over the place, from the East Coast to the West Coast, to the North to the South to the Midwest. But basically what we do is we would be hauling our trailer full of Sozo samples. We have tents and literature to talk about it, and we just set up a tent near the racetrack, and we talk to all the fans, find out what they're interested in doing. We have the bike there, and we basically, they can fill out a form to raffle the bike. There's no cost to entry. There's nothing they have to do to enter. It's just something we want to do for the fans. And then we just sit there and talk to them and enjoy the race at the same time.
Mike Rohrabacher naturally is speaking about the Sozo Motorsports. Again, as we said at the beginning of the show, you have an opportunity to win one of these bikes. Go to our website, sportsradiostl.com. You'll actually see the picture of the bike on the lower right-hand corner. Click onto that bike, and it goes directly to the website where people can actually put together a little application for the sweepstakes.
That's correct. It's a national sweepstakes, so anyone can register to win. There's a few rules, of course, based on the laws, but just you can read those, and it should be fine with that. Sign up and get a chance to win a great bike. I'm not going to tell you what kind of bike it is because you have to go on the website and see.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and again, you'll see a picture of it. And if you're not familiar with motorcycles, this is a pretty sharp little motorcycle. I don't have a motorcycle myself, but it looks pretty sharp. We're at Smoogies. We're on the Smoogies Restaurant and Bar on Telegraph Road, south of Interstate 255 on Telegraph, about 3 miles south of that intersection. You can't miss it. It's on the left-hand side, right past Christopher Road, where there's a red light, so you cannot miss that. As we mentioned, later on we're going to have Brian Smugala coming up here, telling us a little bit about this location and everything that's going on here at Smoogies. What kind of food, what kind of drink, what kind of happy hours happen here. So we're going to talk a lot about that as we progress throughout the show. But Mike, we talk about these products. As I mentioned, later on, Ken Bromeyer is going to talk about the Sozo product. But individuals not only have an opportunity to win this bike, but learn more about some of these products. And I don't want you to go into big detail on it yet, but individuals are pretty excited about these products.
Oh, definitely. I mean, and as a personal story, it's helped me a lot. I feel a lot healthier. I've had some health problems that have been mitigated from. I mean, and we're not going to say it's some magical cure-all, but it helps people. And we have all the information on sozomotorsports.com. If you don't have to watch a bunch of videos to sign up to win the bike. You can just click the bike and leave. But if you want to get more information, we'll be happy to share it with you. If you're interested in the opportunity, we're happy to follow up and talk to you.
We've got a few more minutes in this segment, Mike Rohrabacher, but I want to talk about, you had written down here, the class of 79. Talk a little bit about that. The
Class of 79 is a wonderful organization. What they do is they raise money to help injured riders get back on their feet. Because when you're involved in a sport, it's an expensive endeavor, and you spend time away from work, and you spend a lot of money on your bike and your equipment, and if you were to get hurt, it might be a very difficult situation for you. So they've basically, I kind of call them the backstoppers of motorcycle racing. They've been very helpful getting people to get back on their feet and helping injured riders recover, because the Class of 79 was a wonderful riding group, and they want to give back, and I think that's a very important thing.
Oh, it definitely is, and as you mentioned, the particular program that you guys are associated with, as they can see over our shoulders here, Mike, the AMA Pro Flat Track. Now, how is that different than other tracks?
Okay, a flat track, first of all, there's the road racing, which is on a blacktop track. But the flat track is a dirt track, and so it's more like a traditional dirt bike racing. And so you'll see the guys and gals riding around the track at a very high speed. They're turning, and it's just they're gripping on that dirt, and it's amazing. It's so exciting to watch. I'm really just surprised. And so, but it's a dangerous thing. Any type of high level sport like that is, and so occasionally there are injuries. And the Class of 79 was formed to help people cope with those injuries.
Yeah, and you mentioned the backstoppers. Guns and Hoses is usually around for that. They're going to be having that at the beginning of the year. Usually it's around the Thanksgiving time frame, but that's going to be pushed back. I am associated with the backstoppers and Guns and Hoses, and what a great organization for the fallen firefighters, paramedics, as well as the police officers naturally out there. And that's exactly what the Class of 79 does as well along that same line. Mike, as we wrap this particular segment up, what would you like to leave our listeners of Sports Radio STL with in speaking about your program?
Well, Barry, I just want to thank them for listening tonight and to checking it out and registering to win the bike. We'd really love to talk to you about Sozo if you're interested. If you just want to register to win the bike, that's great too. Thanks so much for your time, and I hope you all have a great weekend.
Very good. Sozo Motorsports, Mike Rohrbacher, again, he's telling us a little bit about the program. If you want more information and an opportunity to win this bike that we're talking about, go to our website, sportsradiostl.com. You'll see a picture of the bike in the lower right-hand corner. Click onto that, and you'll be able to go to another website that will give you the sweepstakes application. And this bike will be given away, as I mentioned, December 31st. So you still have a little bit of time left in order to have an opportunity to win this bike here. As I mentioned, we're at Smoogies Restaurant and Bar on Telegraph Road, just south of Interstate 255 on Telegraph, about 3 miles. On the other side of the break, we're going to have Brian Smugala up here, and he's going to talk about his location here and where it came from, how it originated, and then all the great drinks and food and people, naturally, that come here to Smoogies Restaurant and Bar on Telegraph Road. I'm Gary B. Stay tuned. A lot more to come on Sports Radio STL. Welcome back to Sports Radio STL. I'm Gary B. Randy Gardner on assignment here this afternoon. We have Mr. Scott Spellbrink behind the camera, spelled with one L. So appreciate him being here. We are actually, you're saying, yes, Gary B., you're there, but where are you? We're at Smoogies Restaurant and Bar. It's on Telegraph Road, just south of Interstate 255, about 3 miles, right at the corner of Christopher. And we have the opportunity right now to speak with the proprietor, the owner, the big cheese, the head guy, right here with us. Let's hear it for Brian Smugala. Thanks for being with us, Brian. Thanks for the opportunity of letting us broadcast our Sports Radio STL show here.
Well, thanks for having us.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's a good time there. Tell us a little bit about, for the individuals that may not know, I know you said you haven't been at this location that long. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, the background. Where did the name come from?
Well, actually, we have been here for a few years. I actually took this place over in 2010, late November, and was part of a franchise, Smagalas. And as you know, same last name, they're cousins of mine. But here recently, over the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've changed the name to Smoogies. And where I got Smoogies from is it's a nickname that was given to my father when he was a kid. So, and also some people call me that, but that's kind of we derive from it. And let's be honest, when I had to change the sign, all I had to do was switch the letters around a little bit to save me some money. So.
That worked out well. My broadcast partner, Randy Gardner, is a gigantic soccer guy. He's a coach for his 3 kids. So you're going to have to talk a little bit about soccer. Tell us a little bit about your background, because he's going to love this part.
Oh, well, anytime we're talking about soccer, it's almost as good as talking about girls. So here we go. Now, soccer has just been a huge thing for me and my family, and I started off playing in the CYC in the club level with CSMAC down in the South City, but then went to St. Mary's High School, played there, and was fortunate enough to get a couple scholarships. First was to junior college, Forest Park, and then I moved on and played at Avila University.
Right. Again, you'll know his name, Brian Smugala, and I know Randy Gardner enjoyed that tremendously. We spoke a little bit about Randy and his background playing soccer and coaching as well. Now you have this restaurant. A lot of the guys from Sozo Motorsports are in the house here tonight. They suggested to come here, and I know they love this place. So tell the individuals, first of all, a little bit about your restaurant here. And exactly, what is it all about, Brian?
Well, what we're all about is quality food in good times and great service. And that all starts with what we pull out of the kitchen. And we pride ourselves on serving some of the best St. Louis style pizza that you can find. Also, if you've noticed, we did some renovations in here. And there's not a bad seat in the house as far as the TV goes to watch any of your sporting events. And then one real fun thing that we do on the weekends and sometimes on the weeknights is we stream in live videos from all different genres, and we got a heck of a sound system here. And we go from family dining to nightclub. And even last night we had the CMAs on, and that drew quite a bit of crowd. So sports is not only the big thing here. We like to play our music as well.
I'm going to go back to the pizza. That's my favorite, naturally, the West Coast style pizza. And I want you to talk a little bit about ingredients and how you guys put it together for the individuals out there that are aching for a West Coast style pizza.
Well, one criticism that outsiders from out of our area, they think that St. Louis pizza is just a cheese on a cracker. They don't really care for the thin crust. I like both styles. We came up with the idea to do the flatbread because of another popular chain from the West Coast that sells a lot of pizzas on thicker crust and bread and so forth, almost like a bread. So when we decided to do these flatbreads, we also decided to go with some interesting toppings like goat cheese and pimentos and different things like that you normally don't get at a regular pizza parlor. And a lot of those seem to be more of a thing that the ladies really like. You know that?
Yes, I do. That's Smoogy's Restaurant and Bar, and Brian Smugala is naturally talking about the pizza, which we're going to be having naturally after our show here. Naturally, there's more than just pizza here, Brian. And going through your menu and going through your website today, there were a lot of other items that individuals naturally can choose from with a lot of variety on your menu here.
Well, as you pointed out, we also have a happy hour that runs every day, Monday through Friday from 11 to 6, where we have a choice of 20 appetizers that you can get for half price. And also we're offering the cheapest price up and down Telegraph on our long neck beers, I believe, at $1.75 for a domestic long neck between 11 and 6.
Right, and I noticed the number one item on your menu here for your appetizer are chippers. Now, I'm not familiar with chippers, and there's also loaded chippers. Tell me a little bit about that, Brian.
Well, chippers are a homemade potato chip cut from a potato, deep fried. Oh. Delicious. We season them. The loaded ones have same thing, that we load them up with bacon, onion greens, lots of cheese, and then we top it off with our homemade ranch dressing.
That sounds good. Being Italian, or half Italian, as I am, naturally, I immediately went to the pasta side. You have a lot of variety of pasta here. Go through a few of those, please.
Well, our number one seller probably is our muscatoli, and that's a St. Louis tradition. If anyone's ever been to a wedding reception in the St. Louis area, you're going to have muscatoli. Another big seller for us is the fettuccine Alfredo, and my favorite, the baked cannelloni.
There you go. There you go. All favorites of mine, naturally. Brian, as we wrap up this segment here, speaking about Smoogy's Restaurant and Bar, what would you like to leave the listeners of Sports Radio and the watchers, since we're videotaping this, the watchers of Sports Radio STL?
Well, I'd say if you haven't been here, give us a try. It's one of these places where everybody does know your name. Sounds kind of corny, but we have a lot of regulars, and it's worth the trip up Telegraph. Some people don't like to go this far up Telegraph, but there's a lot of fun in here and a lot of good people.
Brian Smugala, appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Very good, very good. Again, that's Brian, the individual who makes sure everything runs good here at Smoogy's Restaurant and Bar. As we mentioned, we're broadcasting live here. We're talking about Sozo Motorsports. Our sponsor is Sozo STL. Zing STL. You're saying, Gary B., what the heck are those names? Go to our website, sportsradiostl.com, and you'll be able to get all the information by just clicking on some of the icons on our website there to find out what more is about. And as we mentioned in the first segment here, we had Mike Rohrbacher speaking about the Sozo Motorsports. Now we have the luxury of having Mr. Ken Bromeyer. Put it together for Ken Bromeyer, ladies and gentlemen, in the house here at at Smoogy's Restaurant. And Ken, appreciate your time. Now, you got to follow up Mike. That's going to be pretty hard to follow up.
I don't know how can you follow up Mike?
I don't know.
He's a natural. He looks good behind the camera, doesn't he?
As Harry Carey would say, how can that be? Anyway.
I know, it's a pleasure to be back.
Yes, we've had you on the show before, naturally, and we're talking about Sozo Motorsports. Naturally, Mike went through a few of the applications and everything, but you had mentioned to me before we went on camera here, a premiere movie coming out this weekend. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, this is a sports talk show, and it's about motorcycle racing on this portion. Motorcycle racers, you know what? They are athletes. From this year, we went to all the shows, and I just can't believe the wear and tear and the pounding that they take. And so anyway, in 1971, there was a movie, Any Given Sunday, and they're making an update, and it's Any Given Sunday Revisited, and it premieres on tomorrow, November 7th. Go to the movies, enjoy some great racing. In fact, when we were in Springfield at the Springfield Mile in May, they were photographing and we were watching them doing. Dana Brown is the producer. It'll be a great show. Go take a look.
All right, Ken, that is super with it. Again, Sozo Motor Sports. You can go to our website, sportsradiostl.com, and have an opportunity to win one of these bikes. The lower right-hand corner of the website, you'll see a picture of the bike. Simply click onto that picture. It brings you to a website where you fill out an application. And these sweepstakes, as Mike Rohrbacher had mentioned earlier, the bike's going to be given away at the last click of
December 31st
of 2015. 2014.
2014.
Very good.
You almost had me.
You're on your toes there. Now, next year, naturally, the program is going to be starting in the first quarter, I guess. And what do you have on tap for the different locations this year? I know it's a little bit premature.
Well, we can hardly wait. This year we went to 22 races. March 12th and 13th we'll be down in Daytona for a doubleheader in the evening night racing. So much fun. We'll be down at Bike Week. It's just full of motorcycle riders, enthusiasts, and we'll be down there sharing the Sozo story and Sozo Motorsports.
Ken Bromeyer, we're going to be taking a little break here, but on the other side of the break, I'd like to talk more about who sponsors this program and what teams are a part of this. So you'll be able to hang around, right?
Absolutely.
Great. And he's talking about Sozo Motorsports. And again, you're saying, Gary B., what is Sozo? Well, we're also going to have a testimonial from an individual to tell you how this product, it's just a dietary supplement, but how this product has changed this individual's life. So a lot more to come with that. I'm Gary B. You're listening to Sports Radio STL. We're live here at Smoogy's Restaurant and Bar on Telegraph Road. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Radio STL. We're live at Smoogy's Restaurant and Bar on Telegraph Road, just south of 255, the Interstate 255. And we again appreciate Brian Smugala for allowing us to broadcast our show here, Sports Radio STL, talking about Sozo Motorsports. And who better to talk about motorsports, Sozo Motorsports, is naturally Mr. Ken Bromeyer. And Ken, before the break, we talked a little bit about the program itself, and now I'd like to talk about the sponsors. Individuals say, I always would love to sponsor a motorcycle racing group like that. Who are the sponsors of this program?
Well, in AMA Pro Racing, you have all your big sponsors, Harley Davidson, Dunlop, Amsoil. Sozo Motorsports came to be, and we said, what a great opportunity to brand our product, to show them what we have. And so we approached them. We approached the race teams. You have privateers, you got factory riders, and they just love what we do. They love our product, and they love all the interaction that we do with
we keep talking about, Ken, the products, and I've been hanging a carrot for all the viewers and listeners out there throughout the whole program here on the product, on how good it is. In fact, we have a testimonial in the second half of this segment here. We're going to have Chris Soljak come up and talk about how it's definitely changed his life. But without getting into too much detail on the product, talk a little bit about some of these products here.
The functional beverage is why I'm here. I'm a product of the product. It's done wonders for me. Changed my life. I had gout real bad. It's gone. I don't have to take any medications anymore. So there's a great testimonial. But on the AMA Pro Racing, the Ignite Focus is unbelievable. The riders love it. It puts them in a zone. It keeps them focused on what they're doing, going 135 miles an hour on a flat dirt track. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's focus. And again, a lot of these products, as you mentioned, the coffee fruit, there's a coffee berry, and people are going, Gary B., what the heck is that? Well, if you go to our website, sportsradiostl.com, upper right-hand corner, click on to coffee fruit, and it's going to lay out, just like Ken had mentioned, some of the products here. There's many more products, all 100% natural. And again, there's no drugs or anything associated with this. These are dietary supplements. Everywhere from coffee to the energy drink to the nutritional drink that you mentioned, but there's still more.
Oh, correct. We have a great line of face cream, repair gel. I mean, it's all powered by the coffee fruit. The instant face cream, right?
Instant, right? The serum, the face serum.
Face serum, and the 3-minute repair gel to where if you want to look 30 years younger in 3 minutes, we have it for you.
On my website, I call it Botox in a bottle.
That's absolutely what it is. We witnessed that last night.
And Sozo STL, you can get naturally a lot more information. There are sponsors here, Sozo STL. If you go to that website, you'll be able to get a lot of information and actually see pictures of individuals before and after. And when we say after, as you mentioned, it's 3 minutes, and these wrinkles are gone. Now, they're not gone forever.
No, but I did roll over this morning and looked in the mirror and I said, who the heck's that guy?
Well, that's how good it is. Again, the Sozo Motorsports are sponsored. All the sponsors are independent representatives that represent these products, and that's where you can get all their information, again, at SozoSTL.com in order to find out more about it, how even maybe to become a sponsor, how to even get the products. They're even giving away some of the free products. But as we wrap this segment up here, Ken, let's talk a little bit about one last time the individuals maybe that have just joined us, how they can get a free motorcycle.
The easiest way to win a free motorcycle is go to Sozo Bike, S-O-Z-O Bike, at 88769. Just text that in. That'll enter you into the contest. Or you can go to stlstlouis.com, click on the bike, and register right there. It's a great deal. Sozo Bike, 88769, and ignite your ride, as we say.
Right, and that works out perfect, Ken. And as we again wrap this segment up here with you and Sozo Motorsports, because as I mentioned, I want to bring up Chris Soljek because he's going to talk about some of the products that he is actually on that has literally changed his life, even this past week, which is incredible. What would you like to leave our listeners and viewers with here?
Just Sozo is a great company. You have a great business opportunity, great products. Check us out and live your life empowered, and join us next time.
Ken Bromeyer, appreciate your time.
Gary B., we appreciate you.
Very good, Thanks. Very good. Again, Ken Bromeyer with Sozo Motorsports. Ken went into the detail concerning the premiere of the movie coming up, and also who is sponsors. Who are the sponsors of the Sozo Motorsports? And he talked a little bit about the product that comes into play. That's what it's all about. You see the shirt that I have here, the Sozo Empowered shirt. And when you talk about these products, going to our website, sportsradiostl.com, upper right-hand corner, click on Coffee Fruit. You'll be able to see videos on how these products are all 100% natural, and where they are derived from and how they are derived and what it can possibly do for you. So if you want to live a healthier life. And right now I'd like to introduce Chris Soljek's in the house here. We're at Smoogies Restaurant and Bar on Telegraph Road. Again, we appreciate Brian Smugala for having us in the house here broadcasting our Sports Radio STL show. And Chris, we talked a little bit about Mike Rohrbacher and Ken Bromeyer talked a little bit about the Sozo products. But I wanted to bring you, as we wrap the show up here shortly, the product that is really changing your life, and talk a little bit about the problem that you have. And again, these are not drugs, these are dietary supplements, but talk a little bit about the problem that you have had and all of a sudden came back this week, and kind of walk us through that, Chris.
Well, basically, probably 10 years ago, I was diagnosed borderline diabetic and had a lot of different issues with, about the pH in your body. And I just suffered from a lot of different ailments, but the main one that kept getting me was cellulitis. I don't know if you ever know what cellulitis, but it's a skin infection. And I mean, it's very painful. You get, your skin gets real red and inflamed and high temperature, and it attacks your system where you get high fevers and kind of like flu-like symptoms, but accelerated, and about 10, 12 years ago, I battled that in a 3-year period, had it 27 times on my left leg, put me in the hospital 7 times, and the last time I almost lost my leg to it. And that's when I started researching about all natural products and your pH levels in your body. Fast forward to less than 2 years ago, when I found the Sozo products, they were introduced to me. I was doing it through nutrition, through vitamins, all kinds of different things. It was very costly each month. I found the Sozo nutritional beverage, which was 21 servings of fruits and vegetables. And when I started taking that solely, I had not had it in the last almost 2 years now. My auto shipment didn't come in. I was about a little over 4 days off the product, and that came back on my leg 2 days ago. I'm gonna tell you what, not a fun. It's been it's reliving the past of all the pain that I've been through. Don't like it, but usually when I get cellulitis, it's a 30 to 40 day. I'm laid up, can't get rid of it. It just attacks the whole leg, and I literally have just been dosing up on my Sozo. About every 2 hours, I've been doing an ounce. We're supposed to do 3 ounces a day. I'm probably doing about 8 ounces a day. And I started using our skin serum on the outside of my leg, on the virus itself, and for some reason it seems to be reducing the inflammation. So here I am up here already. Usually I'm still laid up in bed, and this is only the 3rd day.
Right.
So I'm feeling good.
And the products, again, that Chris is talking about naturally, you can get all the information concerning that on our website. But Chris, what a story. Just for 4 days you were off the product, and it just came back and bit you. And I know I had talked to you, and you were having a hard time.
Well, you intermingle Halloween candy in that, so all that is
combination
acidity of eating all that candy and then not being on my product. Man, that was probably equivalent to being about 2 weeks off the product, because too much, and I shouldn't have been on the candy, but
right.
Hey, it's Halloween. So, and I'm paying the price.
Sozo STL is one of our sponsors here, so if you go to that website, you'll see Chris's name there, and to get a lot more information on the products that Ken and Mike had talked about, and naturally the product that Chris is talking about, you can get all that information on that website there. And again, we appreciate Sozo STL for being a sponsor, along with Sozo Motorsports for being a sponsor too. As we wrap this segment up here, Chris, what would you like to leave our listeners and our viewers of Sports Radio STL with?
Well, everybody's wanting to get healthier. So what a great product. We all drink coffee. We got healthiest coffee in the world. We got a nutritional product that has 21 servings of fruits and vegetables. We have healthy energy drinks, and now skincare product line. What else can you ask for? It's all stuff we use every day anyway. Why not buy the healthy stuff?
Chris Soljak, appreciate your time.
Thanks, Gary B.
Very good, very good. Again, Chris Soljak telling you a little testimonial concerning the products of Sozo that he has been taking that has definitely changed his life. And in the past couple days, it's just resurrected the idea that, hey, these products are doing something for his body. So if you're interested in looking in the mirror tomorrow morning and saying, you know what, this is the first day of the rest of my life, and I want to change it by doing a lot of things healthier. If you drink coffee, one of the highest commodities out there, You want the healthiest coffee in the world that can definitely help you, give you more energy, less stress. So there's a lot more items that are in the Sozo lineup that can definitely help you in a lot of different ways. You say, Gary B., how do you get this information? Go to our website, Sports Radio STL, upper right-hand corner, click on to Coffee Fruit. There is a video for each one of the products, the coffee product, the on-the-go, which is the nutritional product, the energy product, as well as the serum that they're talking about, the Botox in the bottle product that you'll definitely enjoy. My broadcast partner, Randy Gardner, will be back next week here, but we appreciate him for putting this program together, first of all, as our producer, and naturally Scott Spellbrink, our cameraman here tonight, for filming and doing a super job, although I haven't seen the tape yet, but I'm sure the tape is going to look very good. I'm Gary B. again. We want to thank here again Brian Smugala from Smoogy's Restaurant and Bar right here on Telegraph Road for allowing us to be part of his location here and broadcasting our show. Again, Sports Radio STL, appreciate your time. I'm Gary B. Catch you later.